Have you ever tried to configure a right angle head and not sure what you needed to do here? This video is going to be a example of how to configure a right angle head. In this example, we're going to configure a right angle head to come in and do a pocket on the top of this block from a horizontal mill, and we're going to do some engraving on top as well. So one of the first things I usually do is I turn on my component, what you see here in the machine. If I click on tool, you'll see the component come on. Now for the component to come on, I need to turn component on here, right click in the screen, go down to display axes, turn component on. So each component that you click on, so if I did attach, it shows the attach point. If I do tool, it shows the tool point. Now my right angle head is going to be positioned in the spindle, or the spindle location up here, just like any other holder would be, except for the tool is going to be facing down to do the engraving on the top. So let me give you a kind of an example of what I'm talking about. So here's my right angle head, and we have a couple different right angle heads. Here's my this is going to be my engraving tool. This is going to be my milling tool. We're going to mill a pocket with this. So there's a couple different things here that you need to know. First off, you need to know where your gauge point is, and I've already put the gauge point in because there was in the diagram of this holder, this right angle head, it gave me the distance from the position of where the tool goes in up to the gauge point, and that's this number right here. Okay, so my gauge point's in the correct location. If I was to load this tool right now the way it sits, let me say yes there. And if I was to load this tool the way it sits right now, let me go back into MDI here, and I got a T290 because that's the tool number, and M6. I'm just going to load that in the spindle, and it loads it. It loads it just like that, just like the tool is sitting in the coordinate system for the tool. I need to change the coordinate system for the holder to match the coordinate system for the machine, so my holder comes in correct. So let me hit reset again, and we'll go back into the tool manager. And to set this is the orientation of the gauge point. This is the gauge point of the tool holder, and I need to orient that to match the orientation of my over here in the Z component on the tool, on the machine itself, and I need to match that up. So I'm gonna rotate this. I want to rotate it basically about X. So I'm going to say -90 about X, and then hit enter, and we should see a coordinate system appear. Now my coordinate system, if you look here, Z and Z over here with the G means the gauge point, and then Y and X match. Okay, so if I saved this and I went into MDI and I went ahead and ran that tool in, it comes in correctly now. I have the correct orientation. My tool's coming in. It's going to be in the position so I can engrave or do a pocket with that tool. There's a couple other things with the tools that I want to show you. Now, if I was to go ahead and start this process, and let me walk you to the M3 here. So I'm not quite done with that head yet. There's another button I need to make sure that comes into play. So I load the head, and then I start the spindle. Look what happens. It spins that tool holder, or the right angle head, with the spindle. So the spindle or the tool is in the center, and it's spinning that holder around that. So let me show you where you would have to, in the holder itself and the tool. If I open this up and I click on holder, there's a do not spin button. I want to make sure the do not spin button is highlighted here. Now the next holder, the other holder, is the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go into this holder, and I'm going to say do not spin, and I'm going to go into this and make the gauge point -90 just like I did on the other holder, and I hit enter and my Z goes up. It matches my component right there, so everything looks good. So I save file. There was one other thing I wanted to point out, and that's the driven point down here. We didn't talk much about that, but the driven point for the tools, this one should be 290. I don't think I hit enter. This one's 371. The driven point is this XYZ, or the driven point of the tool tip. And with the H value, the 290, the G43H290 for this tool, and then for the next one is 371. But it automatically picks up the distance from the gauge point down to that driven point. That's what gives us a reference of the tool tip. So I just wanted to point that out as well. So. And I'll hit reset. Now when we run through this program, my holder and everything I should be on top of the block. I should be the holder should not be moving or spinning with the spindle. It should be stationary, and then the tool should spin. So let's go ahead and watch this program, and that's how you configure a right angle head. So there's my engraving tool that engraves it, and that's how you do a right angle head. If you have any questions, please contact support at cgtech.com. Thank you.